Hello, and welcome to the Chronicles of Yarnia, the podcast from Montclair's local yarn store. I'm Jen.
Amanda.
Kathleen, and we are silly today.
We are a little punchy, so just be warned. We all have coffee. You have coffee?
I do have coffee.
Yes, we all need coffee. It's early in the morning.
Where's that one from?
This is Bluestone.
Yep.
Bluestone, just next door. Love them. They're the best.
I love the Meet Me at Madison's coffee even more. I really do.
I haven't had it yet because the last time I went in, Meet Me at Madison's is a new place that just opened a couple of doors down. Every time I go in, it's like there's too much of a line. And I'm like, you know what? I'll go another time, and then I go in, and I'm like, man, I don't feel like it.
I'll get you a coffee on Thursday.
Okay,
After
cool.
class. Yeah,
Excellent.
Or between classes, because that's when I grab my lunch.
We do intermediate class on Thursdays. 2 sessions, which is super fun. But anyway, this is a podcast all about yarn and fiber and knitting and crochet.
And a little embroidery sometimes.
A little embroidery sometimes,
like
a.k.a. this time. So let's just dive right in. We have a couple of cool going-ons around town, which is we are, 10 days out from when we are recording this.
Which is Tuesday.
Which is Tuesday. We are 10 days out from our visit with Aimée Gilles. Damn it. Sorry, Aimée. From La Bien Aimée, who is coming to the store on February 17th and February 18th. Yep. So by the
Friday and Saturday.
By the time you see this, it'll be less than a week.
Yes.
Very exciting.
And as of taping, we have under 10 tickets for the meet and greet, which is Friday night.
Yes.
You get a lovely swag bag, which we have all been working on.
I've been working on them.
We have all been working on them.
worked on them a ton. They're beautiful.
And
actually, everything has arrived for it except for one thing that shipped from Colorado yesterday. So,
yay! So it's in progress.
So it's way in progress. Yep. And even all the other stuff, everything else has arrived.
Yes.
So
that
I feel like this is like planning a wedding.
It is.
It is kind of, yeah.
You've got all the checklists.
We've got checklists and
weekly
tables.
meetings. Literally, every Friday morning we talk to make sure everything's coordinated and underway and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really fun.
The meet and greet with Aimée, where she will be signing book plates for the pre-orders for Neons and Neutrals, which, P.S., you can go to our website, shopyarnia.com, and pre-order your very own copy of Neons and Neutrals.
It's a link down there.
And if we've seen it looks really good.
It does, yes. We've seen all the content, and you will... Actually, if you're going to Vogue Knitting Live also, she will have her samples there. All those samples will also be here.
Yep.
So you can see them in person, not just on a runway.
And that's going to be at both the meet and greet and our Saturday morning yarn tasting, which is 10 a.m. to noon. And that one
we have a decent number of tickets left for that.
I'm so excited about that. That's going to be
It's going to be so fun. So basically...
I can't wait to do the setup for that.
Oh, I know. The yarn tasting, we're going to have...
Can I just say one thing before we get into that?
Sure.
About the books, because a few people have done it, but most people haven't, and I'm probably going to wind up following up with everyone, so you will save me time.
Yeah,
and be happier yourself if I tell you this and you hear it. If you're pre-ordering a book and you are not going to be here, if you have a way that you would like Aimée to inscribe it, like to you, to your friend, whatever, put it in the notes field, please. Yes. Because otherwise... it's probably just going to say Bon Tricot, which is nice. But, if you want it inscribed to you, just let me know.
Kathleen.
And then, just let me know. And then it's all organized. Amy's going to get a whole list with all those receipts.
To my dearest Jen, finish those sleeves.
Finish the sleeves. Right.
Whatever. I'm thinking name. I'm thinking, do you want your name or do you want generic? So if we don't have a name, it's going to be
Bon Tricot, especially if you're pre-ordering 2 books.
Exactly.
Right? Like
one for you,
friend.
one for a friend. Exactly.
Yeah,
so
that's a good plan. So she'll be signing book plates on that Friday. And if you're coming to the Friday event, you should also bring your worsted book.
Yep.
Yes.
If you have one for
and we
signing.
have more here.
And that's going to be fun. It'll be like a little yarny shopping cocktail party kind of situation. We'll have some bubbles. We'll have some snacks.
And also Seisha is going to be here, who has a pattern worsted.
So Seisha can sign.
She is also happy to sign your copy of your book on her pattern if you'd like. So,
and the
Soraya.
new yarns that Amy's bringing are going to be here on Friday night?
Yes.
Yes.
They will be,
yes.
you'll
Everything
be able
will be
to
here and
shop.
out.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm super excited about those.
Because
we'll
we're
talk
bringing...
a little bit about that later.
Yes. So let's go through the events. The meet and greet book preview, right? And then you can look at all of the samples of all of the garments in the book. And then the next day is the yarn tasting, which is in the morning. And that
10
one
to
is
12.
going to be very hands-on
Yes.
in that we're going to have... So Neons and Neutrals is all about combining different yarn bases and like holding multiple strands together and things like that and making new combinations.
And part of that is to be more inclusive and to have not only LBA, which is a super premium yarn, right?
Yep. But you can mix it with another brand.
Another brand with something you have in your stash, with something else we carry, with something else,
so
whatever.
fun.
All the something else's. So that's the idea behind that.
At the yarn tasting, we'll have stations set up where you can literally knit on a little swatch of like, you know, a sample of what does it look like when I hold merino boucle with silk mohair.
Delightful.
And it looks
Let me
amazing.
just tell you that.
It looks amazing. But like, you know, how do I make a super bulky yarn out of a bunch of fine yarns? Things like that. So we're going to have curated selections of swatches that you can actually like
pick up and knit on.
And knit on.
Yeah.
And
I think it's going to be really fun.
I think that's going to be super fun. And then you can like shop the combinations, and
exactly.
you can shop like all of the different variations and bases that we're bringing in from LBA, not just what we currently carry, which is currently we have La Bien Aimée Merino Super Sock. We have Cash Merino. Both of those are fingering weights.
Yep.
And then we have Merino DK, obviously a DK weight. Corey worsted, which is like between a DK and a worsted. It's really a gauge shifter.
Either. Yeah.
And then we're bringing in Wensley worsted, which is like Corey worsted, but on a brighter, whiter base with some really fun colors.
Did you use actual white? There's like a...
Yes, there's like actual, and like some fun neons.
And we ordered the ones that really you're going to see that difference on that white base. Yeah.
And then Merino Boucle, which
is so beautiful.
So
I cannot.
Cool.
I'm definitely inspired. I think it was one of Amy's posts. You know, since she's been promoting Neons and Neutrals, about
the cover sweater
has in there. Yeah, the cover sweater uses that in one of the iterations. But I love the idea of I don't remember which. I don't know. It was a post somewhere about the boucle for a laceless ranunculus.
Oh.
So we felt the boucle, and it's like this airy kind of squashy,
so
really
nice.
cool texture.
So I feel like I would make a short sleeve. It's like a short sleeve winter sweater that I would wear.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I do love my ranunculuses.
And it's such a cool,
such a wearable shape to me.
It's like
just
feather light.
Yeah, it is. It
like,
really is.
It's
but it'll be cozy, I think.
Yeah.
So that, you know, short sleeve winter sweater.
And then we're also bringing in silk mohair, which like basically has an inner light that glows.
It truly glows.
It's like Beyonce always walks around with like, you know, she's always got the hair and the glow. Like her hair is constantly moving. She's always in front of a fan. This yarn always has like an inner, like a light
glow. It does.
within it.
I have some of that next to me here. We'll talk about that later.
Oh,
yes.
Cool. All right.
So it's going to be super exciting. We also had private shopping appointments. All of them have been snapped up.
Yeah, those are all sold out. So one other thing, if you're considering coming, and we haven't quite persuaded you yet, as you heard, for with the meet and greet, you do get a swag bag, and we're talking about all the components of that are either here or on their way. And the other thing we're doing is we had to order enough of the actual bag part, the tote bag that is part of the swag bag, that anyone who makes an LBA purchase that weekend, you know,
you'll get a special bag.
You will get one of those bags. You won't get all the swag, but you will get a Yarnia, an LBA plus Yarnia bag to put all your
You'll get
purchases
the special stuff in the bag at the meet and greet, but you'll get the special, really cool, it is really cool, reusable tote bag. purchasing LBA anytime that weekend. And so this is Friday, February 17th from 6 to 8 p.m. is the meet and greet book preview. You can register online below.
Yes.
And don't forget about the yarn tasting, which is Saturday, February 18th from 10 a.m. to noon. And that link is also going to be below.
And actually, one final thing we should say is, and I need to go change this on Google, which reminds me that's the one thing that is not written down yet, because we do keep our hours up on Google. Like it's, I love that it reminds me now and then. It's like a few weeks before holiday. Is Yarnia open on this day? Do you have any special hours? So
good job, algorithm.
Basically, for that Friday, we are going to be open for shopping from 11 to 3.
Yes.
Yep. After which we are closed and only open to ticket holders.
Right.
All day that Saturday, we are only open to ticket holders, and it's because people have paid for tickets to come to the yarn tasting, to do the private shopping.
Yeah, it's a special event.
And there's just not enough time between, especially on Saturday, there's not enough time between the yarn tasting and the private shopping appointments. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to be open for an hour.
No, and we'll be open as normal on Sunday.
Exactly.
So if you desperately need something on Saturday, you can order online.
Yep.
And we always are available for pickup.
Yep.
Yeah.
We let you know when it's ready. Which
you can come to the back door and text us.
Please wait. Please wait to get the text that your order is ready for pickup.
I mean,
it's not ready in 10 minutes.
That's the beauty part about
2 minutes.
The internet is that technically,
yeah,
the online store is open 24/7. Which we should also mention the other kind of like thing about like going on around town. I mean, let's face it, it's February and there's nothing going on for anyone.
Except Amy's coming.
Except for Amy's coming. So, like, we had to create our own special events because otherwise you're in the doldrums, right?
Well, I mean, you just got a lot to watch on TV. You got Super Bowl, you got the
I was going to say,
there's
the Super Bowl.
There's the Super Bowl.
We actually did watch some of the playoffs.
There's also Vogue Knitting Live.
There's also basketball season. It's getting into the heart of college basketball season.
Yeah, but I'm not going to Vogue Knitting Live, and I don't like sports. So for me, the only other thing going around is that we have a new sales section online.
Yes,
online only
Amanda.
Sales section.
Yay!
Congratulations.
You can also now, I don't know if we mentioned this before, you can filter by attribute of your yarn,
which I love.
So if you're looking for a worsted weight wool primary fiber yarn, you can go and click worsted wool, and all of our worsted wools will come up.
Yay. Which is amazing.
That's
Thank you, metadata.
That was a big project I've been working on since the fall, I guess, right? Yeah.
Well, I am really excited about the sales section because we have so much good stuff that either it's been discontinued by the manufacturer, we decided to move it out to bring something else in, all of those things, and those things aren't on the floor.
Right.
So basically, they've only been coming out like at our birthday sale, which is every September, or the Wool Walk, which very nicely is 6 months opposite that every April.
Yep.
So there's only been 2 chances that you've had to get those things, like to be able to come in and browse. But Amanda's taken beautiful pictures of all of them. They're all, they've been there forever, like while we carried them. But now, and we did have a couple orders right away yesterday. We mentioned it in our newsletter that the sales section was up. And we're going to add things to it over time,
Yeah.
But
I mean, this is the thing. It'll constantly change, and it's online only right now.
Exactly.
So
It is in the basin. So if you want one of those sales, you've got to order online. And if you're local, you can do store pickup. But the idea is it's not here on the floor. It's in the basement. So especially if somebody's working solo, which we have a few slots during the week where that's the case, we need to wait till they can have a break, lock the door, go down the basement, pull the order, all of that. So it's definitely, it's online.
Yeah.
All right.
Online sales section.
For those of you wondering what I was doing, I knit 15 rows of my ribbing.
How many were you supposed
13.
to?
So I had to do a whole frogging episode over here.
Uh-oh.
Now I'm back. On track.
All right.
So
I think that's probably enough of the around town stuff, right?
Yeah, let's dive into finished objects.
Yes. Can I go first?
Yeah, you go first. Go first.
I'm
so excited. Oh my god!
Because you have the impressive one.
I feel like the little kid in Despicable Me with the unicorn.
That gets so fast.
That's how excited I am.
Yay! All right, I'm gonna hold.
So I am gonna. Jen and Amanda are gonna help me spread this out.
Da, da, da.
Dun, da, da.
Oh my
goodness.
I love it so much.
I actually can't believe I finished it. I really can't.
You finished it, so tell what it is.
So this is a blanket.
There we go. Now you can see. Now everybody can see them all. And 8 at a time.
There you go.
Yeah. You can look on Ravelry for the details of all of these. Amanda will link it below. But
here,
if you've
while you talk about it, I'll go show.
All right.
Show and tell.
So, and it is like 6 and 6. There are like each half has got the bottom and top repeat. So if you just focus on that. So if you watch us regularly, you may remember in December, or it was probably our first episode of January, I reported how on Christmas I felt like the worst order in the world because I gave my mom 3.5 squares of a blanket that I thought I'd be giving her the full blanket of for Christmas. So since then, since Christmas, well, actually, it's really since January. It's because there was something else I was doing in December. But I've been working on the remaining 8.5 of these squares, assembling the blanket, doing the border, and I completed it.
You really
yesterday or 2 days
cranked
ago.
through that.
I did.
You're like a crochet machine.
So this is the Hooked on Grannies by Hooked on Sunshine blanket that Amanda has been doing a crochet along on since last June. And the whole idea for me was, all right, I've got June to December. I'll do 2 squares a month. By December, I'll have a blanket for my mom. I did the square Amanda picked for June. I did the square one of the squares Amanda picked for July, and then I kind of stopped.
Yeah.
I mean, you started with the good plan.
I did. I started, on track, all of that, and then, I got distracted by sweaters and things, right? So,
it's hard not to.
So anyway, I decided I was really just, my first priority of this year was to get this done and deliver it to my mom, which I hope to do on Saturday, which unfortunately, too bad. If it were Sunday, if it were Friday, you might have a picture for the podcast, but anyway, I'm sure she will like it. We can throw it in somewhere.
We'll throw it in next week.
Next time.
Yeah.
So, this is as much crochet as I've ever done in my life in that short amount of time. It's been like 5 weeks, 5-6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, you were really focused on
these squares take at least 3 hours each, I would say.
You can do them in 3 hours? Oh man, I'm way slower than that.
I mean, and it does. It depends. It depends on how many times you change color and all of that. The other thing
they're fancy granny squares.
They're very fancy. 5 to 6, I would say. It's like.
You know what I was doing? I was doing them tandem for the after the first few. I did them tandem, so I decided I was starting on the Delilah square, for example. So I did both. I did like the first 3 rounds on both of them, and I think I've talked about this before. There is a video series available to accompany this. The best $6 you will ever spend in your life. I absolutely mean that. I can't believe they only charge $6 for the videos. For all, it's like 20 squares or something, right? Or 25 squares.
It's really
so
amazing.
I only use 6 of the squares, but the pattern is well written, and nothing is actually really hard when you do it. It's just so much detail. If these things were charted, I could do them from the charts.
Yeah.
I am not good with either knitting or crochet working from words.
Well, you're a chart person, but also I feel like sometimes
I'm not very good at crochet charts.
I feel like they're like knitting charts. It's like you just follow the symbols, and it's like where does that come from?
My problem is where the front loops and back loops go.
Exactly. That's what I have issues with crochet charts. Is that I'm like, wait, but where do I go in?
Is that a front loop? Yeah,
but
and that's one of the problems trying to do it from words too. Yeah. Honestly, but with the videos, she'll say, and it's not the designer of the pattern who does the videos. It's someone else who she works with.
And actually, we were talking about that on Wednesday knit night. Mm-hmm. No, we had
our crochet
along on Sunday night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and one of our crochet alongers, Catherine, thank you, mentioned
Pearl Monster.
Yeah, mentioned
on Instagram, etc.
That whoever does the tutorials also has a YouTube channel, and things like a needle join, right? Front post,
surface
back
crochet.
Yeah.
That was one of my last 2 rows that I did.
Yeah,
and I just kind of threw it in. I mean, it was one of the rows that they had. I didn't put it in the same place. I did do 9 border rounds.
I love the border.
The borders are really pretty.
Thank you.
Is that the pattern?
Sort of. I mixed and matched a little bit. I didn't follow it exactly.
It ties it in.
It does, and it just pulls the whole thing together. The other thing I did, I'm a super loose crocheter. Amanda's squares are much smaller than this and are probably more like what they're supposed to be. But honestly, I wanted to make a nice, big, generous lap blanket. So I was happy.
To your advantage.
I was happy that my squares were big. But one of the things that I did, and all of this is on my Ravelry. I really have been trying to document as I've gone through the project. You know, there were projects for each square because I need to see the picture and know that it's done. I need to check it off.
You need the accomplishment. You're like, I did it.
I did that. I did that one. I did that one. And then there was one for the whole blanket, which for some reason isn't linking back to the main project, even though it should.
Weird.
I need to look at that. You know, like, so that, because partly I wanted to see how many other people have finished one recently, so I looked, and mine wasn't there, even though I linked to the pattern. Isn't that weird?
Weird.
I don't know.
Oh, you know what I think? It shows
Ravelry
the in-progress ones before it shows the completed ones.
Oh, it does show
so
in progress
maybe
before
I'm
completion.
Yeah,
it does.
Which
you
can
filter
weird in a way. I don't know, because I think sometimes it shows the in progress at the end, but I think that was what was happening here.
But you can toggle that. So maybe
maybe I accidentally toggled it.
If you were looking at something else, maybe it kept it.
So the thing you'll notice though, as you know, because mine are all really big, they're bigger than they're supposed to be, they all weren't exactly the same width, you know, and they're squares, so they weren't the same height and width as each other. So what I did was I added either a round of single crochet, half double crochet, or double crochet to each square to make it be 13 by 13.
So, like, some have a single crochet round.
Yeah, exactly.
The smaller ones have double.
And, like, this one, for example, was a really big one, so that probably just has singles.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was one of those. I'm like, all right, I need to even these up a little bit. So that was how I did it. And then I was going to join them with the way I usually join regular granny squares, which is, you know, like slip stitch in the corner, chain 3, go to your next cluster, you know, chain it together, do 3 and all. And then as I was doing it, I'm like, it just didn't make sense because there aren't clusters here on the edge. They're basically single crochets. So I did a slip stitch join, but I made sure that it was flexible. I just made sure there was enough yarn in there. Thank you.
So you did really like a loose slip stitch.
Yep, I did. So that in the same color, so it just continues that like gold between the squares.
Well, and it's such a textured blanket that I think that slip stitch join actually looks really great because it continues that kind of
the feeling of it not being flat. Exactly, of it having some dimension and everything. So
Wait,
anyway,
that's not in the pattern?
No.
How do they have it in the pattern? Mattress stitch?
I forget because I wasn't going to do it. I didn't really pay attention.
You're like, I don't know. I didn't read that part.
I literally have been crocheting since I was 6 years old. It's like
you're like,
but I do a lot of it. But I'm like, no, I don't want your advice on that. Thank you much.
You're like, I have my own decisions.
I know what I want to do. I know what I want to do. So anyway, could not be happier that this is done, and then I can give it to my mom. And I am going. I was mentioning this to Jen and Amanda earlier. I am going to do. There's one square that's my favorite. I don't remember which this one is. Do you remember, Amanda? The one? I say it looks like a dinner plate.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to do... I love that. That's my favorite. And I'm going to...
I feel like that was November. Amber? Maybe?
Maybe. I don't know, because also the months have no association to me since I didn't do any of them in the months they were assigned, other than the first one.
Because you did them all in January.
Because I did them all in January, exactly.
You're like July, August, January.
But I've got, some yarn left, so I'm going to go ahead and make one of these, and then I'll probably make it into a tote bag or something, and we'll have it here at the store as a sample, because it's so pretty.
And then I can take my square back.
And then you can take your square back, exactly. Well, maybe I'll just even leave it as a square here, and later... Yeah.
It's such a nice,
we'll make it into a
because this is the thing, like, if you're a beginner crocheter, like, you know how to make a granny square or something like that, you think of, like, the traditional granny squares, and you don't realize that, like, you can make this kind of really cool texture stuff until, you see, like, a Hooked on Granny's, like, crochet along, or if you have this example in the store, you're like, oh, wait, I can do that.
Honestly, it is the same components. It really is. Yeah. There are a few little things you need to learn. Yeah. Post stitches, but once you learn them, it's not hard at all.
In Hooked on Grannies.
Exactly.
The videos. Sarah from the Montclair Knitting Circle did the first Hooked on Grannies I ever saw.
Oh, right, exactly. Sarah Blaine.
She did the Phoenix, which is a big,
so stunning.
Oh my goodness! And she did it in the sugar bush.
She's working on another one now too for one of her kids.
They're so good.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It was so amazing, and I was like, oh my goodness, I have to do that crochet.
Right, you're like, I want to do that.
So
yeah, it's really fun, and it is really it's not as hard as it looks. I really do think though, doing it either as part of a crochet along with someone like Amanda who's done the square helping work you through it, or using the videos as part of it makes all the difference.
Yeah.
Because And the thing, it is so funny when you watch the tutorial videos, in every single square she says, now this isn't a hard one. You know, and like every round of every square, you know, and it's not, but it's knowing how they work together. It's knowing where to start. Oh, I have one more tip, one more like granny square tip. And the reason this is my tip is because I didn't do it this way once and it was a problem. So in virtually any pattern that is like square or granny square based, when you change colors, it'll say joining in any corner, blah, blah, blah. If you happen to always pick the same corner, which I did once, truly accidentally, your square is not going to be square.
That's true.
Because those stitches at the beginning and end are not the normal size.
Right.
So my tip, because this is the way the Kathleen brain works, when I do my join, I just throw a little stitch marker in there, and then I make sure I start my new color on the next corner.
So you just kind of like
advance by one all the way. You're always rotate going around by one, and I
around a clock.
Exactly. And by putting the stitch marker on, if you don't happen to do it the same day, you don't have to look for it. It's like, yeah, you probably don't really need to do the stitch marker, but you know, number one, it makes it easy to find, and number two, if you want a reminder, it's like, oh yeah, I need to join in the next corner.
I would forget.
Well, and then, there's that plus, as we saw with calcifer. Right, crochet stitches don't line up perfectly vertically.
Yeah.
So if you go to the hook, because Cooked on Grannies, it's linked in our Ravelry discussion thing. They have a Facebook forum. Hooked on Sunshine has a Facebook forum. It's spectacular, very active, and excellently moderated. I'd highly recommend it, especially if you're like, what colors should I do this in? Because there's an example of whatever color you can imagine. But you'll see a lot of folks who choose, like, you know, the Karen cakes or something like that, that have like the giant cakes of DK weight yarn that just changes colors automatically, you know, or that want to do it all in one color.
Which those are really beautiful too.
Yeah, those are really pretty. However, and you don't have as many ends to be done.
True. Yeah, true. Absolutely.
Except that you actually should cut your yarn and start the rows the next row, because if you look at the ones where they probably get skewed. They skew.
Yeah, I bet they do.
Yeah, and then they put frequently the question comes up in that group.
What's wrong with my square?
Why is skewed? It's not you know, perfectly square. And someone comments, did you ever cut your yarn and start in the next corner, or you know, start somewhere else?
Yeah, and you don't have to do it every row, but you have to do it at least probably every 3 or 4.
Yeah,
I would say. Otherwise, it's going to be different. And then if you use my tip too, and you make sure you go like one to the right, it really is going to be, those uneven places are going to be evenly distributed, so you're going to be closer to square.
Yeah, that's actually really important to do. Following directions is important. Sometimes
but it's the stuff that you might not know enough to know. Like, I feel like it's really easy to be like, oh, I know enough that I need to do that, but not necessarily recognize the why or the how, which is when like a forum like that really comes in handy. Or a Kathleen like that really comes in handy.
Yes, that's one of the best things about like watching knitting podcasts, forums and things like that, is you don't have to make all the mistakes yourself.
Right,
exactly. You can learn from others' mistakes. I love learning from other people's mistakes, and I also love helping people not make those mistakes, like sharing my experience of
Well, and this is the thing. I mean, I feel like we all probably get this all the time. Like, anytime like a customer or a student is like, you know, has made a mistake and they're like, well, how do you know how to fix this? And they'd be like, oh, sweetie, it's because I've made that mistake.
Because I've done it many times.
A lot.
The reason I'm so quick at tinking is I've done a lot of tinking. Right. You know, it's like, people are like, how do you do that so fast?
Folks make mistakes. It's like, you make a mistake, you learn how to fix a mistake, and then it's not that you don't make that mistake again, it's that you make the mistake again, but you fix it.
As clearly as I
and maybe recognize it sooner or whatever.
Here at the beginning of this podcast.
Right.
So, well, you know, I think I want to fold this up because I want to have more coffee and I don't want to drink coffee.
No, you don't want to drink coffee anywhere near it.
I don't. Not for now. It's like, ugh.
Well, and I'll tell you guys, if we do have OOPS classes on the schedule.
We do. Yes,
with
for February.
Yep. So, like, one of the hardest things I think about fixing mistakes is learning what a mistake looks like.
Yeah.
And learning how to identify it. And Stacia's workshop, the OOPS workshop. Oh, did something go flying?
That was my my stitch stoppers for my sweater that I was working on earlier. We'll get them later.
Yeah, they'll still be right there.
They will.
But one of the things that a class like the OOPS class can really help you with is learning to identify this is what a drop stitch looks like, this is what an incomplete stitch looks like, and then also how to fix it, so you're not like, oh, that's an incomplete stitch, I'm going to fix it like an incomplete stitch, when in reality it's a drop stitch.
Yeah. You know, a really good point.
And again, you kind of learn it by doing, but also, like, we've all made mistakes. On my Lucky Tweed throwback, there was one on one of the sleeves, there's an accidental yarn over made because I was not paying attention, and there was an incomplete stitch that I didn't stop and fix, and I just like went through, and I didn't notice until after it was done, and I was like, oh well. Yeah. Oh well. I'm not ripping back because it's a sleeve, and I'm not ripping a sleeve back.
No.
Sorry.
Bridge too far.
Too far.
Yeah. Well, and in addition to the classes, which are awesome, and I feel like you get so much feedback from the other class participants. If that's something that doesn't work for you, right? Working with your private instructor too. On fixing mistakes, not just the ones you make, but like intentionally practicing fixing mistakes.
Like if you're like, oh, hey, I need some help with this. I seem to always be doing X, Y, Z. And be like, all right, let's swatch it out and like make that mistake a bunch of times. So we do also private classes and small group classes, both online on Zoom and in person. So if for whatever reason, like the group classes you can't make, or you want to learn something specific, and schedules being what they are, we all understand that. On our website, shopyarnia.com, Amanda has also created a drop-down under classes for private classes. And you can take a private class with a friend and make it a small group class.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is super fun.
And also we do still have the availability. There's like right now there's a graphic at the top of our classes and events page for Zoom classes too.
Well, I'm moving that before.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. I was going to say,
they're all going to be in the classes and events drop down. Yay! And then I get an individual email that says the name of the person requesting it. It makes it so easy. I love it.
Makes it so much easier for everybody.
It does.
It
helps us help you faster.
Exactly. That's the thing. And also, like, if you're like, but I want to learn it now, and I don't want to wait until you have this next class.
Exactly.
Perfect. Dude, I get that.
Yeah, totally.
I also want to do stuff now. Do you
because
have
squirrel and non-destructive.
Squirrel and shiny and I want to do it now. No. Speaking of no. My only finished object. You're done with your finished object?
I'm done.
You have been.
We can talk later about what we're wearing if we want, but
yeah, let's do that after finished objects.
Sure.
All right. Can I have my?
Oh yes, I'm sorry. You have. I have your thing.
That's okay. So. I finished a sample for the store.
So beautiful. I love it.
Which is the Friday Slipover by Petite Knit.
So nice.
I do not remember what size I made,
we
but
can measure it.
We should measure it and figure it out. It is made exactly as per the pattern, except for one thing.
Except
I'm not doing a fold over neck. I'm sorry. I don't like them.
Yeah. They're bulky.
They're too bulky. And
they
honestly,
look pretty, but I don't know. They're too bulky.
You know what? For me, it's too...
Yeah.
So what I did instead was a tubular bind off.
Which also has that nice, very finished look. I think
has a similar look.
One of the advantages of the fold over neck is that your stitches don't end.
Yeah.
Right. So is a tubular bind off, but with a lot less bulk.
Exactly. The
tubular bind fold over neck in my Magnolia Bloom. If you remember that.
That's really pretty.
Yeah.
I like it on the Magnolia Bloom. The Magnolia Bloom has a slightly lower neck than this. This Friday Slipover also there's
pretty high neck. Right.
It's a relatively high round neck, but there's also a V-neck version.
Oh, cool.
Pattern. And it's broken rib. I like that. I love how the increases go, the shaping, it's top down.
I was doing a Slipover deep dive last night for some random reason.
Right.
Probably because I was thinking about this.
If I can figure out how to style this, because I don't wear button downs, and that's the problem. I think they look so cute with like a white. No. I don't do that. I scoop necks.
I think a button down though is so maybe just get one and try it.
I know, but I always feel like I don't know.
I just got a
button
I
downs
need a new one. That's one of the things I was thinking.
I just got a gauzy ruffle turtleneck, but I'm
that
when I take my
that sounds pretty.
My vest home,
NATO
vest. I got it to go with that. But I think it's gonna look really cute.
Yeah,
but I gotta. So I've got some time because this will live in the store. This is in Rowan Alpaca Soft DK, which was, as always, a delight to work with.
Mm-hmm.
Don't touch it, Kathleen.
It's one of my favorites.
I did pull together some samples.
Sorry.
And actually, this was one. Yeah.
Yeah.
We did our row and restock this year, and so we had ordered so much alpaca soft that we got enough to make a sample. But Jen picked this sample, which was much nicer than the one that they
should be
had
an
sent
Amanda
us
color, pale pink.
Yes.
Yeah. That's
Or
the
lavender.
Oh, the lavender.
They definitely have added some new, nice, lighter colors.
Charcoal, which is what it's worked in.
Mm-hmm.
The light gray, which would be beautiful. And the brown. And we have more colors than this.
We do, but those are ones I thought would look nice, particularly in this.
Yeah. And this pattern was written, I believe you held a fingering and a mohair together. But
to
I
make
also,
a DK, so
to make
you
a
can work
DK.
in a DK.
Yeah.
But I also think that it's worthwhile. Sometimes it's hard to step beyond what the pattern suggests, right?
Sometimes it's hard to do what the pattern suggests.
That too. Sometimes
that's why you watch podcasts. Or come to Amy's yarn tasting.
Come to Amy's yarn tasting and try
things out.
Yeah.
Right? But, I mean, I also feel like it's good to show folks what, like, okay, so the pattern says to do something this way, but here's what it looks like if you still want, if you can't do mohair, if you still want the, like, kind of fuzzy, hazy, soft, squishy, delicious of the broken rib, alpaca soft is a great way to do it, or you could do it in, like, you know, any other combinations, and we can always help you pick that out.
Yeah.
So this is going to live in the store for a bit before I figure out how to wear it. I don't know. I'm just not like a crisp white shirt and
maybe
I
think it'll look really cute though.
I just don't. I don't know how to like.
I'll wear my vest next week and inspire folks.
It's funny. I
feel like so many people like look so cute in these.
I think you would
things.
look cute. I think you should give it a try.
I think I just have to like get over my like, it's a button down. Kind of situation.
You know what else though too? I don't know if this is one of the things that bothers you about a button down, but as a person with a larger bust, it's they pull out. You can get a bodysuit.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, those give you wedgies.
No,
not the nice ones.
No,
they do.
So
long torso, long torso.
Yeah, that's true. You might need a tall one. You might need,
I mean, this would be super cute. Like, I would totally wear this in spring over a dress.
Yeah, that would be cute too. That works.
But that's like my default MO.
Mm-hmm.
Does this work over a dress?
Does it work over a dress? Then yes, I will wear it.
Mm-hmm. All right, nice.
But I think it's super cute.
It is so cute.
Come on, coffee. That's my only finished object.
I forgot.
Because I am gearing up.
You're gearing up.
Oh, my class starts.
That's right. That's right. Yes.
Week after Aimée.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So what's your finished object? You've got several, I hear.
Not me?
No, isn't that what you said?
I have one.
Oh, you have one.
Object. I have lots of whips.
Oh, maybe it was the whips.
One of
I have lots of whips.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
But I have a finished object. They're tiny and perfect for Valentine's
Day.
Yay!
So cute. Oh my God. I love them.
So these are Abby's princess mittens.
Thrummed princess mittens, right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, they're princessy because they're hot pink.
And white floof.
And white
and
with,
white
princess mittens. So yeah, they're worsted weight white held double with silk mohair.
They're so fun.
And then
so
thrummed with hot pink.
They're so perfect.
I love it.
She loves them. She tried them on. She loves them. I was actually a little bit late today because I was weaving in ends so she can wear them tomorrow. But yeah, they're perfect for a 10-year-old. They're a little bit small on me. I use the Tin Can Knits World Simplest Mittens pattern in the bulky size, or not worsted, but whatever the next one is.
Chunky.
Chunky maybe.
Chunky bulky.
Yeah, because I added the silk mohair to the worsted.
Mm-hmm.
I used that one. And I knit the adult medium because she's like adult small, but once you add the thrums, you have to go up a size.
Yeah, you need room.
I put the thrums in. I started them sort of randomly and just went with it. If you want all the math and all the lined upness done for you, just use Jen's pattern.
Yeah. I have a chart for thrum placement. Even for the thumbs.
Yeah. I didn't do that.
That way you don't have to think about it.
I winged it.
It's nice not to think sometimes.
Right. But anyway, I didn't think. And guess what? They're not lined up, and Abby didn't care. So
Yeah, don't tell anyone; they'll never notice.
Mine also has directions for how to make thrums, and then how to make sure you get the little heartsies.
Yes, yeah, which I sort of winged on the first half of this mitten, and then Jen showed me how to do it. The instructions that are in her pattern, and so this mitten looks better. I'll take the picture, the Ravelry picture like
but
this.
Abby won't. Abby won't notice or care. It'll be fine.
Yeah. Aww.
It's so
heart.
cute. They make a little heart. Oh,
adorable. Adorable.
And what did you use? You used for the thrums, you used one of the refill roving things for the Wool Pets?
I used one of the Wool Pets color packs. So we have the Wool Pets like kits where you can make a specific animal. And then if you just like playing with fiber to felt things, we have the roving packs, which have like color coordinated. So this color comes from this color comes from the Brights set, which Abby had 2 sets of because she loves it. But I used I had to have 2 bumps. So if you wanted to just get 1 set, you'd have to have 2 different colors, probably alternate rows.
But you could do like a little fade or something.
Or you do stripies.
Yeah. So there's a pastel kit, there's a primary colors kit. Yeah, this is the tropical, or you know, like those brights, whatever. Crayola would call it bright.
I just reorganized all of that stuff yesterday when I put out some new things.
That's a great way to, you know, if you wanted to try out thrums and not necessarily commit to like a full 8 ounces of fiber.
Yeah, it's a great, like it's a bump and 3/4, I'd say, or bump and 2/3.
Yeah.
So, yay.
Nice.
Yay!
Very nice.
So these are done.
Awesome.
Just in time for Valentine's.
Cool. And why don't we quickly talk about what we're wearing?
Wait, we're doing our mid-along.
Oh, that's right. You can't forget our mid-along.
Yeah, so these are done as part of our mid-along, which is a knit-along / crochet-along for mittens.
And fingerless gloves.
And fingerless gloves, which we'll get to that in.
And fingered gloves.
And fingered gloves. Can you put it on your hand? It counts.
Yes, exactly. Handwear.
Handwear.
Handwear. So this is my second set of mittens finished for our mitt-along. And we did order our prizes.
Yes. And Amanda found a really fun thing. We loved it.
So we'll probably show those next time. But it goes to the end of February. So even if you haven't cast on something, mitts and mittens go really fast.
It goes so quick.
So yeah, now that I finished the blanket, I finally can participate for real in the mid-along.
Yay! Yeah.
Well, I'll show you mine that I started yesterday. I'm going to finish today.
All right.
So that will be contribution number 3. But I'm really enjoying these. This is a lot of fun. And this is my mid-along. If you want to participate, just go to our Ravelry thread. We have one for the chatter and like the instructions, and another for finished objects.
Yep. Ta-da. And you definitely have time to start in. We should talk about what we're wearing. Amanda, what are you wearing?
I pulled out an oldie but a goodie. I'm wearing.
We all did that today. Isn't it funny?
We did.
Yeah.
I'm wearing Andrea Mowry's Comfort Fade Cardi, which is a DK weight cardigan, sort of open front, shawl collared. This is what I wore to my very first Rhinebeck, without the final color on the
right.
I remember that. Yeah,
just like the yarn runs through the last stitches. No one needs to know.
Yeah. And the ends were tied up on the inside. It was like whatever.
Whatever. That's fine.
But I also the reason it took me a while to do it, although not as long as it's taken Jen to do hers.
I'm still not done with mine.
Is I put a panel of Japanese lace down the back.
So pretty.
So beautiful.
Yeah, from the...
Do you want to go up closer to the camera?
Oh, sure. I feel like I've shown this a few times,
but
it's
like...
You
never know.
But you never know
every once in a while.
And you know what? We're so bad. We never said, thanks for joining us. Welcome back. So that's what I was thinking. We do have a fair number of new viewers who may not have seen it before, so...
And here's your stitch markers.
Thank you.
There we go. Yeah, I forgot. We didn't actually say thanks for joining us, but thanks for joining us. Welcome back.
Absolutely. And also, should we guess what episode it is
now?
now?
Crap. 98.
Lower.
When last we left us, I was still thinking of a number, so I started with 98. You said lower. I said 95, and they both said it was last time. So 96.
Therefore,
I did it! Woohoo! Okay, so I am wearing my Marie Chen by Isabel Kramer, which was a sweater class like a year
2
and
years
a half,
ago?
2 years ago.
Yeah. Oh.
Mine is in felted tweed.
It's so pretty.
It's
I've been
so
nice.
admiring this all morning. I just
Yeah.
love the felted tweed.
I love
It's so nice.
just the gauge you knit it out and everything
Yeah.
too. It just is. It makes a beautiful fabric.
It's a really nice fabric. It's light. It's warm. It's wearable. The only thing is that I still have yet to pick buttons, but I do have buttonholes. So that's okay. That's right. It's like I never really button my cardigans, so
we need to get some new buttons.
I need to
order some more
figure
buttons.
it
We'll
out.
have to keep
I
that
think
in
the
mind.
prim buttons would look really. Yeah.
They could. There's
would.
so many different styles
Yeah.
of them. Yeah,
Yeah.
we should restock some of those too.
I'll take a I'll
So
take a
much-
gander through that
Mhm.
section
Mm-hmm.
after this. And then Kathleen, what are you wearing?
I am wearing one of my favorite oldie but goodies, my Carbeth by Kate Davies. Knit in Eco Wool, Cascade Eco Wool, which we no longer carry. But I've been threatening for like a year to make another one in Cardo. And I really
Cardo would be
Cardo is so
so
nice.
I think that would be so nice. And actually, this is so crazy because it is February, right? But this past weekend, one of the things I did was I took out the rest of my winter sweaters and the rest of my... It's been such a warm winter here for the most part,
so
except
warm.
for like 3 random days.
Except
has
for
not
last
felt-
Friday when it was 0.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That
And
was
Saturday,
really
which was
cold.
almost as cold.
Yeah.
Or even colder, maybe.
We went
But-
to dinner in the 4 degrees cold.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we hunkered down over the weekend, and that was one reason I'm like, where is that sweater? Where is this and that? So there's no more pile in the chair. The pile has been dealt with. I took pictures of some things I never had final pictures of.
Oh wow.
But
I need to do that.
I was kind of stacking my sweaters up, and the ones that they basically are a gradient. So I need to figure out. It's like they go from
pretty.
light bright gold like this
Uh-huh.
through like a little more greeny gold, and on and on up to my tomato lucky tweed and all of that. So I bet if and I should have taken a picture while they were laid out because they looked so pretty, but if I take a picture, I can go and see what color of Cardo I don't actually have.
Ooh,
Oh,
and
that's a good
complete
idea.
your gradient.
Isn't
what
that
a
fun?
good idea.
Just because I do, and it doesn't bother me. I mean, I have 3 things that are basically this color that I've made.
Right.
I love it. I wear it all the time, right? So it's like if you feel good in a color, wear it.
Wear it.
But
Yeah.
but at the same
You can
time,
have a palette.
I don't want to make exactly the same sweater just in a different yarn. I want to have a little variety.
Yeah.
Oh, and actually,
Yeah.
I was going to make this in black too. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that's right.
That was the whole, and then they didn't have Eco in black and all of that.
Yeah.
So
So,
this exact sweater.
Yeah,
Well, I
but-
put something different on the
You
back.
put something different on the back.
yeah,
It's different.
and you did it in a different color. That's what I mean.
Yes,
I don't want to make the
yes.
sweater
Yeah, you had a
in
different colorway
this,
entirely.
because there's nothing wrong with this. I just want another one, so
Right,
it shouldn't
yeah.
be the same color.
All right, we should talk about whips, or should we talk about what our giveaway was?
We can do giveaway. Let's do giveaway.
Let's do giveaway.
Yeah.
We're gonna break it up a little.
We've been really, and maybe that's a good time to put it in general, because sometimes we forget to do it, and it's way at the end.
And it's at the very end, and we're like,
then-
oh no!
Like literally, I think in the last 2 episodes we've done that both times. It's literally been within the last 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So
That's okay.
I know, but
So now we're
I
gonna
like
mix
that-
it up.
I like that placement though. I like
All right.
between finished objects and whips.
Yeah, so what
So
was
let's
our
shoot for that.
question last time?
So our question was, what is your favorite project of 2022? And we had a lot of really good answers, as always. A bunch of people finished up their twists and turns, which was really impressive.
Oh, good for you.
That is impressive.
Yep. There were a lot of people did a lot of gift knitting. I mean, I remember there was one person who said, she really didn't have a lot of knitting mojo, but she made like 3 sweaters for her grandnieces and grandnephews.
Wow.
That is amazing.
That's a lot.
That's
That's
one
great.
way to
That's
get
a
your
lot
knitting
with
mojo
mojo.
back.
That is.
Right? And our winner by random draw was Faith Hunter, who said her favorite project was the Bronwyn Wrap by TL Yarn Crafts.
Oh,
And
nice.
so that was a really nice one.
So
Yeah.
Faith needs to contact us.
Yes, and she wins a skein of cricket of her choice, which
Oh, nice.
that's the new Kelborn
I've
Woolens
been
yarn
looking
we
at
showed
that
you
over
last
there.
time. I have two skeins on my dining room table that I'm
nice.
thinking about using for mittens. I haven't committed yet.
Oh, they would be
But
such nice mittens.
I think
too.
so. I may redo the mittens I was doing. But the other thing, actually, we should talk about while we're talking about giveaway and everything. Right, like within a couple of days of our last podcast going up, there was some scammer who hit not only us but a bunch of other podcasts.
I saw that.
So we do want to reiterate: the only place, we won't message you, we won't ask you to use a weird app or anything like that.
No.
we mention, our drawing results in the podcast, during the podcast. And as Amanda has a nice little note down there, please contact us within 4 weeks of when the podcast goes up. Just because sometimes things sell out. And we don't want you to have no choice if you win and all of that. So just if we do it within 4 weeks, that kind of keeps things timely. So, if we understand if you miss an episode or whatever, hopefully if you're friends with other fiber people, you all watch Chronicles of Yarnia.
Yes.
If your friend wins, be sure to let them know.
give them a heads up.
Be sure to let them know.
On WhatsApp.
But that's the thing. We're not going to
ask you to send some and to give away any of your personal information. I mean,
no.
Obviously, for us to send you a prize, you do need to email us and send us your address and all that. But we don't ever ask you to use a weird app or anything like that.
Yeah.
We want you to email us at hello@shopyarnia.com. Yeah. And then I'll get back to you and we'll work out, where to send it, what you picked, all of that.
Yeah.
So
you can go
beware of scams on our channel or anybody's channel.
Yes, for sure. You can always go to our webpage, which is a secure website. And hit contact us.
Yeah, exactly.
Get in contact.
And people have done that as well. That's totally fine.
Yeah.
We're
not gonna be contacting you asking for your credit card, your social security number, any other additional information.
Please don't tell us.
And
please don't tell us.
Yeah, I think
don't send credit cards.
Most people do know that. I think I had more people writing to say, "Oh, did you know somebody's scamming your viewers?"
Most folks were giving us a heads up.
Most people were giving us, though there were a fair number who did send their information and say, "Yay, I'm so glad I won."
Let's talk about on the needles.
Yep.
I don't mind going first if you guys don't care.
Go for it.
I again have one thing. That's my.
We just had a battery die. So worst case, if we go from Kathleen to me, I have quite a few whips. It might just cut out, and that's okay.
So my one truly active whip is a Felix in Glory Confetti that I'm hoping to finish. That I will finish before Aimée comes.
You'll finish.
I will.
Yes.
I will. I really haven't had that much time to work on it, but I love it. It's so fun.
It's so fun.
Oh.
So,
we just have to coordinate when we're going to wear.
Neutrals.
Yes,
I know.
Neons and neutrals.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's in which color?
This is Graybo 3.
Nice.
I did look it up, which one it was.
I have a Felix in Graybo 2.
Which is much more gray. Mine is more taupey, I would say.
No, I think the background of the gray, but you know what? You have the color
pops are a lot more
different.
Neon, right? Aren't they?
Your pops
neon?
are a lot more neon.
Yeah.
We just have to make sure that we coordinate.
Yes, coordinate outfits.
Which day, so we're not twinning.
Mm-hmm.
I only have
not twinning in a weird way.
Not twinning in a weird way.
One LBA item that, unless you want me to walk around with no shoes on.
Right. I was going to say, you have plenty in LBA items.
Socks.
I have socks.
But they're on your foot.
Yeah. I just walk around with Birks.
Yeah.
That's what Haley does.
I know. I actually don't own Birks. But if I did, I could walk around in those with my LBA socks.
Actually, I forgot. Haley did send me a picture yesterday of Will in the Musselburgh that she was making while she was here.
Oh,
so
nice.
we can throw that in if we want. Okay.
Haley has a finished object today.
Haley has a finished object.
Look how cute.
Oh, he's so cute.
And she always does live photos. That's so weird. It's making a halo.
That's weird. Oh, because you're highlighting it. So you'll see Will in his Musselburgh.
And I love the background too. It must have been just about sunset or something. The sky is very pretty.
She's taking it at magic hour. So you may have just seen Kathleen do a spit splice on her Corey Worsted. Corey Confetti, which is the best way. The best way. I also like rubbing it against jeans.
Yeah,
it's
that's part two.
That's
part two, but it needs to be wet before you do that.
Yeah, that's true. I just totally
blew
past my pattern. I don't leave in my ends. Not if I can spit splice. Yeah. Screw that.
I leave in my ends. I don't know. It makes me anxious, y'all.
No, it works. It works. You're felting it.
These
are really lightweight jeans. They don't really good heavy rough
traction.
jeans need
you need like a true denim to get that traction in there. All right. So, do you have any other whips other than the Felix, which should be done by the time
It'll be done by next episode for sure.
For sure.
I have been working on my sock. I've been carrying it around.
Nice.
So even though I only have one real one, this was going to be my Advent sock. which was kind of a miserable fail in terms of doing a stripe a day. Because some days I'd pick it up and do 3 stripes, and then 3 days would go by and I'd do no stripes.
I know.
But I've definitely, well, I talked about this I think last time, I have to stop just casting on socks because I really don't ever finish them. So I need to finish the 3 that are in progress, 3 pair.
It is a good way to handle, like, you know, kind of cast-on-itis, is to be like, I'll just cast on a sock, but then you actually have to be like, oh, wait.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I cast them all on for different reasons, so it's not like, I don't know. But I should just finish the 3 pairs in progress and then really only have 1 at a time. That's my commitment to myself for this year.
That's just finish them during sock bingo.
That's true.
Yeah. Well, actually, they were started during sock bingo, 2 of them.
So then they can be finished.
That's part of it. That's part of it. It's fine.
Then you can finish them during sock bingo. It's so good.
All right.
Good.
How about you, Jen?
I am currently working on my second sock in LBA. I think this is Super Sock. Maybe is it?
I think it's Super Sock.
I think it's Super Sock.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this is the Super Sock.
This is is this Totoro and my?
No,
it's
Hal and Sophie.
Hal and Sophie.
Yes.
Hal and Sophie, and I'm doing String of Lights pattern on the
Isock Witchery.
leg.
I love that pattern.
It's so a really nice like variation on a 3x1 rib.
Yeah.
And so I'm doing that. I already have 1 sock done, and I think I need to count my rows to see how long of my leg. I think I'm aiming for like 100 on my leg. And then, could you hand me...
I can. This thing?
Yes, my enormous...
Something.
Oh, wow.
Don't worry. I'm not precious about it. It's fine.
Oh, that's my sweater.
I was like, your sweater you can be precious about. I'm like, not mine. It's good. So this is my retro pullover, which I am
so close.
Gonna finish. So right now I have the sleeves tucked in. I'll take one out. Mostly so I just don't like when I'm going around. I'm not like flipping.
Yeah.
You know, bopping the cat or anything like that. So the sleeves are done. I took a second the other day to weave in all of the ends.
Nice.
Again, it's in Germantown, Kelborn Woolen's Germantown, which is spit sliceable, so it has been spit spliced. So I only had I had
just the underarm,
18 ends up here.
Yeah.
It was like the joining in the yarn up here and all of that stuff. So I am, each repeat is about 1 inch, so I have probably 3 repeats for a cropped sweater because the ribbing is going to be about 3 inches, and probably like 6 repeats for a normal sweater. So
have you decided?
No,
what you're doing?
I haven't decided.
You love the cropped though. You look really cute in it.
I do like the cropped, but I also was like, you know what? I kind of want to wear this with jeans, and I can't necessarily
Yeah,
I don't have
high-waisted
jeans.
I feel like a cable sweater and jeans is just one of those classic things,
like I want to be able to like throw it on. So I think I do need to go a little bit longer than I would normally, but I'm getting there. I did like 3 repeats this weekend. My problem is that each repeat just takes a while. Each repeat is 8 rows. Yeah. And that's 4 heavily cabled rows. Yeah. And so I just need to sit down and do it.
Yep.
But I'm getting there.
Yeah.
You are getting there.
I'm getting there. Yeah. Meanwhile, the students have all mostly finished.
Haley hasn't.
Except for Haley, who didn't.
You need to get into a series, and this is the only thing you work on when you watch that series.
Yeah.
Right? I can't watch TV with this. I can listen to stuff.
Oh my goodness! Then I couldn't do it.
Yeah.
I'm out.
Because I need a series that I don't need to look at.
Yeah, right. I started rewatching Outlander last night because I couldn't figure out what to watch.
You need a rewatch of it.
I just needed it's like comfort TV in the background.
Did I tell you this time or last time that we're watching Mysterious Benedict Society?
Yes, but you know what? Is it on Disney Plus or something? It's on something we don't have. I did look for it.
Oh yes, I think it is on Disney.
Yeah, we don't have that anymore.
It is so lovely. I love it so much. Beth was obsessed with the book.
Haley was obsessed with the books too, which makes sense. They're basically the same age. Yeah.
Yep. So that she's loving it, and she says the story's very true to the books, which she would be devastated if it wasn't, and we'd have turned it off halfway through the first episode. But she loves it. So that's an endorsement from a heavy reader.
I was going to say, I'm like, Beth approves. That's a good one. And then
this, I see shiny things.
Oh,
so then,
do you want me to put this aside for you? Or?
Yeah, just throw it on
throw it on your alpaca.
Throw it on the alpaca soft. So then, I can't remember if I shared this or not, but I brought it to our intermediate class.
Yes, it is so
This
glowy.
is my swatch, there we go, for the Tsubaki pullover, which is my sweater class that starts the week after Aimée is here. And this is in LBA, Super Sock, and Silk Merino in Silk Mohair in Amy's Flashy Lipstick.
Do you want Amanda to bring it up?
Because when I say it glows, y'all.
And actually, this is on our Instagram today, but I think the picture that was used was like a screenshot of a screenshot or something. It's not great.
I always use an Instagram filter, so
know.
like if it was like a screenshot of the Instagram, then it's...
No, well, did you have it on it? Oh, yes, you did. So anyway, yeah. All right, well.
But see, it's so pretty, and it gets Gage.
You've got about 12 people already. You've got a nice group for that class. But there is always room for more. It's on Zoom,
it's a
so
Zoom
the table
class.
doesn't get too crowded.
You guys, so like these squashy cables are
they're very
like
cool.
It's
are really
and
pretty.
It feels so nice and like
that looks like a much more chill cable than.
It is.
And it's only cabled on the front.
It's only cabled on the front.
post.
It's a much more chill cable than the heavily cabled thing. So, like, if you want to do cables, but you're like, and the retro cardigan, the retro pullover was a little scary for you, that's okay. The Tsubaki is going to be really nice. I swatched early because I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to hit gauge, which is a DK gauge. Even though it calls for sport, I mean, a sport to DK weight will do, and it was 22 stitches to 4 inches, and I got it first try. Didn't even have to switch the needle size. I was super excited, and then I was like, let's do the cable pattern.
Oh yeah.
Which is going to be like a nice straightforward situation. The interesting thing about the Tsubaki pullover is the construction. So it's top down, contiguous shoulder, and designed in a way where essentially you never have to cut your yarn.
Which I don't quite understand. But
but you will. Are you taking it?
I'm not taking it class, no. I'll make my Carveth.
But I have tweaks. I have tweaks.
So
tweaks
cool.
involved. So that's my whips. If you want to join the class, there's still room. It's on Zoom, and participants get recordings.
Yes. So even if you have to miss
Even
a
if you
week,
miss
you don't really have to miss a week.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
So it's Amanda
now
now.
we hear Amanda has a lot of whips.
Parade of whips.
Whip parade.
Whip parade. Whip parade. Whip parade.
All right. So first, I'll show you. I did make progress on my book on Grannies.
Woohoo!
I finished Claire #1.
Ooh.
So there's my first Claire. Ta-da!
Did I do that one? No, I did
like
not.
it. It's almost like
It's
a
very
4-leaf
pretty.
clover kind of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you remember my grandmother's blanket,
Yes.
Mhm.
when I did in bold, I used Claire as the basis for the inside. So I've crocheted this before. So that's Claire. I have my second Claire is here. So that's got to get going.
Just started.
I've got 3 rounds of that.
Literally on the hooks.
Yep. And we had our first, because Aimée is coming, and actually, because it's my anniversary weekend, so I'm going to dinner on the Sunday night after Aimée comes on that Sunday night. So I can't do the Zoom that night. So we moved the Zoom till this Sunday. And I started Delilah, which is our February square. You did this one.
I did do that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I liked that one.
So
that was really probably the easiest one, I think.
Well, I finished 5 rows in the knit-along hour. But then I realized that I had, I did the 5th row, which is where you add the corners for the square. But I only had room for 3 corners because I realized I forgot to increase on row 4.
Oh, poop.
So I had to rip out 2 rows, and then I went ahead and did row 4 properly, and I haven't put 5 back on yet.
At least it was only 2 rows.
Yeah. So my goal, right, is to finish. I finished the one that I started on the virtual before the next virtual. I'm going to finish the one I start in class before the next in-person meetup. Our next in-person meetup is the 19th, that Sunday right after Aimée comes in February. And we went ahead and scheduled the March and April ones. So the March ones are going to be on the 19th of March, and the April ones on the 16th of April, which is after spring breaks and holidays that come in.
And before Wool Walk.
And before Wool Walk, yes. That was the other
Speaking of holidays that come in April.
Exactly. Yarn holidays.
Right.
So
yeah.
So that's hooked on.
You got your Easter, you got your Wool Walk.
Yes, April's going to be very busy. So enjoy your not so busy February. So that is Hooked on Grannies. Status of Hooked on Grannies. That's making progress. Okay, now my other whips. I'll tell you first about what I've been working on. So it was my partner's birthday yesterday. We went to the city, and I have some sweaters on the needles, but I didn't want to take a sweater because that's a lot.
Yeah.
Like, because we're sitting in the car. Yeah, I wanted something, and I also didn't know how long we were going to be waiting around. We went to, if you're looking for a lovely lunch place, we went to Sarah, which is the rooftop of Italy on 23rd Street. And it was just, it was beautiful. Like, they've got, like, it's so nicely decorated. It's sunny.
Fun.
And we got there about noon, and it really wasn't that busy.
Oh, that's good.
It's also the week after restaurant week, so it was probably busy last week. But anyway, so I took...
And it was Monday. I feel like Mondays in general are not as busy for lunch.
So I went, so I took some leftovers that I have. So Beth, my oldest daughter, had asked for a pair of How Quiet mitts by Helen Stewart, because she had a pair that I knit her in this, which is Rowan Cashmere Tweed.
Oh yeah, which they don't
is
make anymore. So sad.
Late lamented.
That was lovely yarn.
And I thought that I had stashed away a 25-gram ball, which I know is enough to make How Quiet mitts. But I had the forethought to weigh it. So this was actually leftovers from a pair that I knit for a man back in 2017. And it was only 20 grams. So I went to my stash and found leftovers from Eric's red sweater. And
it looks
Scout.
so pretty together.
Nice.
I love it. The two reds. It's beautiful.
Yeah. So this is Scout plus no longer made cash tweed for How Quiet mitts. And I literally cast this on yesterday in the car and finished it shortly after we got home, and the ends are even woven end, and that's ready to go. But she wore hers out. Like, she worked in food service in college in Iowa, you know, where they have like the drive-through doors, and they became the communal mitts.
Oh no!
Because you need your fingers, because they have
fingers.
They had a touch screen.
Yeah.
But it was like that Saturday that we had at 0.
Yeah.
That was a normal Iowa winter day.
Oh, jeez.
So they really used these mittens, well, the ones that I knit her the first time, a lot, but they're gross. Like, they've had sauces spilled on them, and, you know, all that kind of stuff.
Coke, probably.
But at least they got used. Which
they got
also
very well used. But she wanted another pair that isn't disgusting. She actually left them.
That are not going to be communal.
She left them at the restaurant. She's like, I'm not bringing them home.
Yeah.
Those guys are using cashmere mittens.
Yep.
At the window. So I finished this yesterday. I actually cast this on this morning, sitting here waiting for our podcast to start, and I'm already like halfway through the gussets, the thumb gussets. So these are extremely fast little mitts, perfect for the mid-along if you're looking to jump in on that.
I do love them. I've made that pattern several times too. It's such a good one.
And they just go so quickly. Like, I love mitts because you're like, you know what? I want the satisfaction of casting on and getting something made. And like using them.
And they fit really well.
But and you know the other thing that is nice about that pattern, I feel like it's a great palette for other things.
Yeah.
A couple of times that I've made it, I've substituted things on the back of the hand.
Yeah, so have I.
And it's just really,
I've made plain ones. I've made ones with the design because the design is so simple and like so elegant.
Yeah,
it's nice.
I did like a bluebell cable once.
Ooh,
as long as you know what the stitch count is for the back of the hand,
and
you
keep
can
it the same number.
Substitute something else. Yeah, exactly.
Yes, keep the same number. I love the color blocking, and I love.
I do too. It's so pretty.
The tonality of the reds. It's just so pretty.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah. So these will be done shortly.
I was gonna say today.
Yeah.
Yes, they'll be done today.
Yeah.
Unless I get distracted by the other things that I'm working on.
All right. What else you got?
Okay. Well, you both have La Bien Aimée sweaters started to some degree. You're going to be starting yours. I want to be knitting on something.
That'll be my third LBA.
Yeah.
Wow, that's right.
Oh, that's right.
You have a lot more.
So we
have our Sorayas, too.
I have Corey worsted.
Oh, that's right. I do have a Soraya.
I don't have a Soraya.
I have 2 shawls.
I have
I
a
don't
Corey
have
worsted,
them.
and I have a Felix.
But I want to have a Lobby Aimée sweater.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be working on one, which is here. But
right.
let me show you what I pulled. I, as well, am working with the silk mohair.
Oh, I did see that on the table, on the desk in the office
Yes.
when I came in yesterday.
I took it home.
I was wondering what that was about.
That was, I got it.
No, it was when I was here Sunday morning, maybe. Yeah.
So I have picked the Glacier Cashmerino.
So gorgeous.
Because I love the Cashmerino so much.
It's so nice.
I love it so much. This is what I knit my Helen Stewart Miss May shawl out of, and it is one of my favorite ever. And I'm going to add the silk mohair. So this is in Glacier. This is in Jasper, which is one of our colors. The silk mohair
they're definitely compatible. They're so they're
really
like
lovely
they're
together.
siblings.
Yeah.
I would say for sure. Yeah.
There's a little bit more blue in the Jasper, which I like the blue, so it'll give a little bit of a blue hint to the...
Yeah.
A little bit more blue. There's already a little bit of tealish in that. So anyway, this is what I'm going to use.
And what's your pattern?
Well, so I've moved over the past few months, and I was moving my yarn library, my book library, knitting and crochet and all the things, and went through all my back issues of Lina.
Oh, what a good idea.
And, you're moving them, and you're like, I haven't seen this in a while. I haven't seen this in like 3 years. Let me look through all the patterns, right? So I was looking through Lina. This is number 8. Yeah, this is number 8 from quite a few years ago. Summer 2019. And there's a pattern in here, Flower Buds, that I think is going to be perfect. It's I'll put a photo in here, but it is a sleeveless, it has like little flutter sleeves, sweater, split hem,
yeah, you should.
right? And
Beautiful.
and a very easy texture pattern. It is seamed on the sides, and I think there's it's like one easy seam straight up.
Yeah.
So it's like not a big deal at all. I don't mind seaming to begin with, as we know from my daddy's set-in sleeve sweater last year. So I don't mind that. Also in this number 8,
is it knit in one piece, or is it knit in?
No,
you join the
it's 2
shoulders
pieces.
as well.
Yeah, I think there's like a 3-needle bind off or something like that on the shoulders. So also in this one is, where is it? This.
Oh, I love that.
Grace.
Yeah, Grace
by Denise Bayron.
I love that.
And this magazine as well.
That's
and it's
been in my mental queue.
Spectacular one. I was wondering if Carter would work on this.
It might. That's
it's
a really
on a 13.
nice idea.
Do you think Carter would work on a 13?
Might be a little late
Swatch
for that.
it.
I know. I'm super tempted. It would work with a silk mohair.
I was just about to say, I'm like, you could combine
Throw in
the
a
yarns.
strand of mohair.
Oh, I might throw in a mohair.
Or the cash silk
lace.
light.
Yeah.
Oh, I might do that. Oh, because I might do that cash silk light. That would be really lovely. This would work up in 2 weeks.
It's like
It's super
a
fast.
chunky.
It's on a 13.
cable.
On a very fast cable, and I love how the cable just doesn't end.
Just
I
goes
know.
right in.
I thought that was such a pretty design. I love that.
there,
one.
this one is a special issue. I love, and we have 2 copies left. This is one of the 2 we have left.
Nice.
That's a really nice one. So anyway, this is my sweater to be. By the next time you
Love
see me, it will be cast on, because I do want to have at least the ribbing and be into the pattern, where I can just do that while she's here.
Yeah.
So that will be done. Like basically
Nice.
2 skeins or these 2 are the front, and these 2 are the back, and
I love those 2 colors together, and I love that. I was looking at that that mohair silk silk mohair.
Yeah.
Oh, so
And it's a lot of yardage too, so you really do. Yeah, it's
you get
over
bang for your
500
buck with
yards.
that.
Oh,
with that.
yes.
I forget exactly what it
And
is. But
don't be me and wind it by hand. Wind it on a Swift and ball winder,
Yeah.
because you will be standing over those over that thing for way too long.
These cashmerino, it's light fingering,
2
so
days
it's 474
later.
yards.
Yeah.
Is a cashmerino 474, which is quite a bit of yardage, and the silk mohair is 547 yards. So it's plenty for me for that sweater.
Oh yeah.
Okay, next, I feel like I deserve some kudos here. I did start the jib Gib. I think it's Gib.
Gib?
So I was reading the pattern. This is by Andrea Mallory. It's the Gib 2. I think it's Gib 2. It's a man's sweater, and she named it after her grandfather.
Aww.
So I think his name's probably Gib. Like
probably.
Gilbert.
That's
like
more
Gilbert, or
something like that. So I think
Gibson or whatever.
Yeah, something like that.
I like that pattern.
Anyway,
I don't know that one.
It's a man's sweater. I did a tubular cast on for the neck. I realized about 5 rows in after casting on tubular, it was supposed to be 2x2 rib, and I did 1x1, and I was like, well, guess what? This whole sweater's going to be next to my partner. I was like, guess what? You're going to have a 1x1 rib sweater because I'm not redoing this.
Yeah.
So that's what it is. It doesn't really matter for the rest of the sweater. She also puts the short rows for this. There are short rows. They're in the collar.
Nice.
So you can see the short row ribbing here on the front is much shorter than it is. You can see the back is raised up in the.
It's a great example of how short rows work.
Yeah, definitely.
So do you want to see it closer?
Yeah,
sure.
So this is in the North Light Atlantic in the spruce color, which we don't have anymore because we bought the rest of it for the sweater. But you can see like that back neck, which is where the short rows are, is raised up from the front collar. I set all the raglans, and I have not yet established the pattern to the point where I can just continue in pattern without referring to the pattern every row.
Yeah.
What kind of pattern is it? Like what sort of?
So
is it broken rib or?
It's not exactly broken rib. It's sort of moss stitch, sort of. There are
almost like a waffly.
Yes, yeah, but I have to say there are 3 pearls to every knit. FYI, if you don't like purling.
Yeah, good to keep in mind.
Yeah.
I would not enjoy that probably.
Heads up.
Yes. So if you're like
you're a fan of purling,
yeah,
which some people are,
I don't mind. And then of course like the cables are knit, right? Yeah. There's little cables on the raglans.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
it's a really
nice.
That. It's a nice.
But I haven't gotten them established. I've done 1 cable twist, and then I was out of steam. I need to probably find a 3-hour concentration session.
Yeah.
To really kind of get into it.
Yeah, exactly. But I haven't had that yet.
And by that time, also, I mean, this is also the kind of thing that I think the hardest thing is establishing a pattern.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's why it took me so long to cast it on. This was an afternoon project.
Yeah.
But one that is cast on and established and is just go, 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 go is my, I'll show you how it looks so far. Balloon cardigan by Petite.
Oh, that's right. Wow, you do have all the whips.
I know.
You do have all the whips.
But this was totally an impulsive Knit Night talked me into it cast on.
Knit Night is good at that.
Yes. And I love it so much, and I'm going to wear it all the time.
Oh yeah, you're going to be. That's going to be a constant.
But this was made to be like 2 yarns held together, fingering in a mohair or sporting a mohair or something like that. And I checked the gauge, and the Woolfolk 2 has the same gauge. So I'm using 1 strand of the Woolfolk 2.
2 is spelled T-A-G-E.
Yeah, T-A-G-E.
So if you're looking for it on the website.
Tage.
But thank you, Patty, for explaining to us how to actually pronounce it.
Yep, so I'll show you how it looks, because I threw it on some pearl strings.
Love those pearl strings.
I know, and it's
like so much easier.
I was hoping to be at the arm separation, the sleeve separation.
Oh, it's so pretty.
Not quite yet.
So pretty.
Feels like a kitten.
It really does. Well, you should show it up close.
Oh, my little capelet, my 2 capelets so far.
2 capelet.
Yeah. So this is where it is so far. It's going to have like puffy balloony sleeves, full length. And it's a little bit cropped, so it'll probably be to here. And then buttons, like chunky buttons, which I think also those prim buttons have some really nice ones for this. They're light when this is not a heavy fabric. Right,
yeah, you don't want anything pulling on it too much.
No, I do. So, I love those.
And I love the integrated button band.
Yeah, it's very nice really construction.
It's a nice design.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do the button band first at the back, and then pick up to go down, so it is It looks continuous.
So what is the gauge for that? Do you remember offhand what how many stitches per inch?
It's on a 6.
It might be DK.
I was thinking that
it's on a 6.
Just remembering what's in our sales section, thinking the Ellery Kid fur might work for that, but I think it's a little too thick.
It's too thick.
Yeah. One of the yarns in our sales section is similar to this in that it's like a wool and a mohair held together, but in one strand, which is really kind of fun. But sadly, it is not one I can use. I am allergic to both halves of it.
You would be allergic to this one too.
You're not gonna do it.
I do. I need to do a hat and a cash look light with something too, just to see how I do with that.
This is so fun though. I'm really enjoying it.
It's so pretty.
I will definitely be, and this is one that like I should be working on other projects, and I picked this up instead.
Yeah. We all have
That's
things
how they
like
all
that.
start.
It's like,
Yeah. This is my indulgent, I love it so much project.
What you looking for?
I'm looking for how many rows I need, and I don't remember where I put it. Sorry.
No problem. But
Keep
like,
going.
is that the end of my whips?
Is that the end of your whips? You have like the Mary
blew
Poppins
through
bag.
3, 4, 5. That was like 5 whips. Yeah. That's good.
That is the Mary Poppins bag of whips.
But I feel like this is going to go so fast after I divide for sleeves. But right now, because it's like over the raglans, over the balloon sleeves, the rows are eternal.
It's the most number of stitches you're going to have on the needle at any one point.
For the rest of my life.
Pretty much.
When I'm working on a sweater like that, I hear your voice say that.
I'm like,
when I feel like the row is endless.
It's like the most.
Like you hear your mom's voice with some things. With sweaters, I hear Jen's voice.
As soon as you divide for the sleeve, you're like abandoning so much.
Yes.
And you're like, wow, this is so much quicker.
Oh, it's all there.
And not to mention it's going to be cropped.
And it's going to be cropped.
I feel like the sleeves are a little bit droppy, so it's going to be like, and 3 inches done.
Yeah, pretty much. I think so.
I want to get to the underarm before I pull stuff up from over here.
Okay, so
I do want to go next door and see if they've got some high-waisted jeans. I know I've said this before.
Dot Reader next door.
Dot Reader. I'm going to go see if they have high-waisted jeans. So I might do that after we finish this podcast.
Shop local, y'all.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Absolutely. They have cute stuff. What was I going to say? Oh, well, we're going to talk about what's new in store, but to give Kathleen a little bit more time, we were talking about classes and workshops and things like that because we have a couple of, in addition to our regular classes that are all available on shopyarnia.com under the classes tab, Amanda and I were talking, Amanda edited an on-demand video class.
Yes, finally. Y'all have heard about it before.
To be fair, you've heard about it before. Like, I recorded the class. It's about Afterthought Heels and Toes. It's based on the Afterthought Heels and Toes workshop. I recorded the class, 2 video files, and only posted one of them. So it's not like she could do anything about it.
Well, but I didn't even look at it.
Act together. Neither did I.
Don't beat yourself up, guys.
But we did it. We didn't. I didn't do anything other than go look at it and go, yay, Amanda! But it's awesome. So that'll be available soon. We'll put it in the newsletter probably after Aimée.
Yes, probably. Because I do have to do some setup for it.
Yes.
And also, are you going to have like a PDF that they can download?
So it'll basically be, you'll get access to a pre-recorded video, like hands-on lecture workshop-y thing all about Afterthought Heels and Toes, demonstrating and showing you how to do it. It's an hour-and-a-half class.
It's not so cool. 10 minutes.
It's not a
no, it's
tutorial.
in depth as
Jen
does, which
go
is,
for a deep dive.
Yeah.
And you'll get the handout as well, which is a PDF.
Yeah.
And that gives you the instructions for everything that I go through in that, and then you can watch it at your leisure.
Over and over again.
Over and over again.
Over
you
and
can
over.
Stop and rewind.
Do the part you need. Work on the toe. Look at the toe part.
Right, exactly. You can do it along with. So that will be available in the coming weeks. And then the other thing that we were talking about in terms of classes leads to some of our new in store.
Yes.
Kathleen is going to be doing, do you want to call it a class or a workshop?
I still think of it as a workshop, and I'm not sure why.
A 2-session workshop.
I'm not sure why it's a workshop.
Which is a class.
Because you know what? No, because it's more active. Like, I will be doing the thing with them.
It's a hands-on workshop, right?
Absolutely.
Dealing with and learning how to do embroidery.
Yes. So we were I don't know, lately, at the beginning of In-Store Knit Night, which is 6 to 8 every Wednesday, stop on by.
No registration required,
no
just
registration coming in. Actually, we had, I think, 10 people last week.
Oh, how fun.
And last week I was solo, but it was so nice. We had a mix of, regulars and newcomers, and everybody was so welcoming, as of course they are. But I was glad, actually, it wasn't too crazy with the shopping, because I was having a good time chatting with everybody.
Oh, sometimes you're like, but I want to hang out too.
Yeah. And just like a couple of people were, one person was sick, and then the person who might have been the backup was also had kid issues or something. So anyway, it was all good. But I was still doing a little bit of inventory stuff at the time when people were arriving for Knit Night. And one of the things I was doing was putting, I don't know if you want to bring this up there, Amanda. Some of these embroidery kits. We had
I love this
just worked on an order from Hawthorne Handmade.
I'm going to finish your row.
And then keep handing them out.
I
love the...
They've got really fun embroidery kits, succulents. And then they also have some cross stitch. We restocked the one that I did as a store sample.
Yes, this is the one that you can see in store.
That's the autumn trees, and we got spring trees too. Aren't those so fun?
Perfect.
Yeah. So
we'll go through the whole season.
Over time we will get the rest of them.
I mean, shocking. I love the colors that are greens and teals. What a shock. Shocked. You love the autumn ones. I love the spring ones.
Exactly. So, I had all these things on the table. I was printing out labels. I was, putting prices on things. And a couple of people were like, embroidery. I've never done embroidery. That's something I'd like to do. And I'm like, well, I learned to crochet when I was 6, and I probably learned to embroider when I was 7. It's just like, it's another fiber crafty kind of love that I've always had. And so I was like, it's so easy. We should just do a little workshop or something. So we are doing a little workshop. It's going to be in March, in store, and date still to be nailed down. But it's probably going to be a Friday evening, which will be fun. We'll do like 6 to 8. If people want to go grab a drink afterwards, that's always good. So, we picked out, I think it's the Wildwood, and if we have more registrations, we'll order more kits so that everyone can be working on the same thing.
Yeah. And I think that's a good beginner one. You learn how to do a bunch of different things.
Exactly.
And these kits are fantastic.
They have everything you need.
Yeah.
They really do. I have one at home. I brought one home. I'm going to take some pictures with also some of the other accessories that I recommend that make your life even easier with it. And, if you think embroidery is something you might want to stick with, then it's kind of fun.
Like, we have a bunch of needle minders in the store now.
Exactly.
Which I love.
That was one
needle
of the,
minders.
That was one of the things. And then there is another brand.
Little magnets that stick to your work so you can put your needle there so you don't end up being like, where's my needle?
But they're magnetized in the front and the back.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
I need one of those.
When I used it a lot when I was weaving in my ends on my Hooked on Grannies.
Yes.
Because color changes every row. I was like putting the needle in and out of the chibi because I didn't want to lose it. Because lately,
it's so easy to lose the needles.
Lately, Anna has been trying to play with my craft projects.
Oh.
My dog.
Anna.
Anna has been with us for 7 years or something now, and
she knows better.
All of a sudden, she's decided she's going to play with projects. She was sitting on my mom's blanket the other day. I can usually leave things on the couch and she will not touch them. I came in, she had nestled her. You know what?
She loved it.
I think she's been watching Toaster on Natalie's channel. She's inspired by Toaster. Anyway.
Toaster. You're such a good boy who's influencing others.
Influencing other crafty dogs. So I had that toward the end of my time with the blanket, and it definitely saved time. You just drop your needle on it, literally. It boop, boop, it clicks in place. When you're ready for your next one, it's right there.
I have some metal pen holders and trinket holders on my desk that all my darning needles go in, pins and things like that, stitch markers.
Yes.
But if I put one on the outside, then it'll just cling to them, and I don't have to dig in the bottom to find my needles.
You don't have to pick it if you have nails.
Nice.
Yeah. But wait, talk about these because these are new.
So we had gotten a lot from Hawthorne, both embroidery and kind of cross stitch previously, restocked those, whatever. But when we were looking, we found this other brand, Cinnamon Stitching, that another embroidery place from the UK, and I just thought they were so adorable. So we tried 4 different prints to start. Do you want me to bring them up, or you want to?
I can take them.
All right.
You're so cute.
Yeah.
Try not to crinkle.
So,
Happy Valentine's.
Yeah, so we got a Valentine's one. When we're trying a new vendor, we just try out a few things, but these look really nice. These do not include an embroidery hoop, but I did just restock a bunch of inexpensive ones. If you don't happen to have one, you may have one from another project, in which case, you're not getting something you don't need.
And I do know that there are some embroiderers who don't like using a hoop, but I find using a hoop makes it so much easier.
You know what? For embroidery, I use a hoop. For counter cross stitch, I don't usually.
Yes, counter cross stitch, I never.
Counter cross stitch, I roll it up, and I use a
hoop for both.
Yeah, I don't know. If you're doing like detail, if you're doing like outlining, sometimes on counter cross stitch, maybe then you want it taut. But
I love that butterfly, but like
I love the elephant. It's not something I would necessarily use, but and you know what? It's got yellow and orange in it.
I would totally do the elephant.
Is there a symbol in elephant?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. That's so funny. You would think I would know that.
Also, like...
And it does have some red in it. It's got the deep Alabama red.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So
this is going to be our giveaway item
excellent.
for
and what's
this
our
episode.
Question?
What is our question?
So, post below once we think of a question real quick, and you will get... This is vamping.
Your choice
of
what is available.
You know what my question is?
What?
Oh, that's right.
Oh, yeah. What?
Well, what are you cooking or eating during the Super Bowl?
There you go. What's your Super Bowl menu?
What's your Super Bowl menu?
If you watch, which I wouldn't be surprised if we get a lot of people that say, I don't.
I don't watch necessarily, but
But you go to Super Bowl parties?
No, I don't go to Super Bowl parties, but I do use it as an excuse for Ruffles and dip. Because
there you
I love Ruffles and dip. Honestly, I love dip. I love dip.
I do too.
Yeah. We're actually going to be driving back on Sunday because Catherine is performing in an opera in Hartford. If anybody's interested in seeing Catherine, she performed at the end of our Vlogmas.
Yes.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That was so nice.
She's performing in Street Scene. She is Rose, so it's one of the leads. And it's live streamed and it's free if you want to live see her on Sunday afternoon.
You're going to put the link?
The link will be below. It's at 3 p.m. Right before the Super Bowl.
So you can get
Super Bowl is
you can get your culture in before you start eating dip and watching
people crash into each other.
Is it? I know it's the Eagles. No, is it the Eagles?
And
yes.
Who's the other one?
Kansas City Chiefs.
Yes.
I watched Good Morning America this morning.
I was going to say,
Gene and I actually watched both playoff games, which we haven't watched football all season, but for whatever reason, that weekend we just watched both of the games.
My mother
they were good. They were actually good games. Like that was,
My mother is very excited about the Eagles, and I know a lot of folks in Philly, and they're going to end up greasing those poles so the Philly folks don't slide up them. I love Philadelphia.
Yeah. A lot of spirit.
Town that booed Santa Claus and will throw batteries at their own players. I was describing to somebody who Gritty was, who didn't know who Gritty was. It wasn't you.
No, I know.
No, it was my friend Lisa, whose daughter plays hockey, and I was like, well, you gotta know Gritty, and she's like, I don't know Gritty. I'm like, Gritty is the best mascot in the world. Best mascot in the world. So that
is
alone.
Gritty the Philly fanatic?
No, Gritty is like a giant orange Oscar the Grouch, crazy ass mascot. Like
a football or
no hockey.
Hockey, okay.
And
I'm sure Haley knows who Gritty is. Then.
Oh no, Gritty is weird looking, and will like.
I don't know if the Rangers have a mascot. Do they? I don't remember ever seeing.
I don't know.
I don't remember seeing mascots.
I only know Philly sports for really the mascots. The fact that like when fans win, they'll do things like throw batteries, or lose. They'll throw batteries. It doesn't matter.
Very strange.
So,
so let us know
our question is, what are you going to eat?
What are you cooking or eating?
Are you cooking? What are you eating? And then
for the Super Bowl, or what are you doing instead if you were totally anti-Super Bowl?
We'll be having like Taco Bell and drive home.
Taco Bell's a good Super Bowl
drive home
food. Drive home.
We'll listen to it on the radio.
I definitely am looking forward to some wings that day.
Oh,
gotta do the wings.
I would love wings.
Jonathan usually does chili, but again, I like dip, so really I'm gonna eat the dip. I've got veggies. I've got potato chips. That's like a full meal.
Banchan for lunch. Have you had the Korean wings? The
Korean
chicken wings? They're very good. If you have Banchan chicken, we can get it on DoorDash.
Oh,
where is it?
Where is it? Because I've had.
I want to say Nutley, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I've had Korean fried chicken, which is amazing, but I've never had
crispier.
Yes, I don't know what.
And then the sauce.
Love the crispy.
Yum. So good. Okay, now we're
all right. Now we're talking about food. Time for lunch.
So post below.
Yep.
And remember, we will announce winners in the podcast. We will not contact you individually. You contact us.
That's right.
Yep.
And thank you guys for joining us.
Thanks for watching.
Don't forget to register for Aimée if you're local or you're coming to visit. We hope to see you. I think it's going to be super fun.
And if you'd like a book signed, pre-order it, please.
Pre-order.
We don't want anyone to be disappointed. We ordered like 50 copies from Lina, and we have a few left, but we want to be sure those are all going to sell before we order more. So
yeah. We want to make having looked at the preview of the book that we've been able to see, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
It's
as you would expect.
Stunning and creative.
Yes.
And also, if you have worsted, it's like the perfect companion. I feel like,
one's yellow, one's pink. They're just going to look so pretty on a shelf. That alone.
They will.
So thanks for joining us. Remember to like and subscribe down below, and then follow us online on Instagram. We're Shop Yarnia, Facebook Shop Yarnia, and our website is shopyarnia.com. You can always find us on Ravelry as Shop Yarnia as well.
That's right.
So, in the meantime, have a great week, everybody. Hope everybody's staying warm.
Happy knitting, crochet, embroidery, whatever you're doing. All right? Bye.